help if the microphone was on. Hello. I just realized a compressor was pretty hot. A hot compressor. Let's see. That's good. Seems all right. Hello. Cheers. Everyone hopefully is having an amazing... What day is it? It's my sister's birthday today. We had steaks and ice cream cake for her birthday and Doritos. It was fantastic. But it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So, actually, we'll go back to this real quick. I want to explain where my mind has been the last few days. Been working on a lot, but for those of you who've been following along the last week, I've been deep diving into Hertas, or the concept of triplet Hertas and shifting the Herta around the triplet. But Sunday or Monday, I don't remember. It's all a blur, guys. It's all a blur. We were talking about stick control, and what I've been thinking about and what I've been practicing, I realized, is just 1 through 8 of stick control, page 5. So there's a little more into it, but we're gonna really kind of focus on this today, and I'm trying to, again, map out how they sound really in relation to the ride and the snare, but also with adding flams to them and then shifting that around and what patterns arise within the patterns, right? Just like taking a paradiddle and separating the hands, you hear rhythms within rhythms. So that's where we are today. We're on stick control, good old stick control. Page 5, if you have the version that I have. I think it's always page 5, but I mean, page 1 of stick control. I mean, do you need the rest of it? Probably, but this is where it's at. So I know there are triplet exercises in here that revolve around this as well, and we'll get into that. But for like an hour and a half, we're going to deep dive into this a little bit more, try to become more aware of the patterns and rhythms within rhythms. So yeah, that's where we are today. I think all the lights are on, right? I was hurrying. Cheers. I'll have a drink. I put ice in here, so it's cool. Yummy. All right. Pop, pop, pop. And what do we got? New mix as well. Did some mixing today. So busy day. Busy day. Part of it too, like hearing it singled out, like each hand. Josh, let's go. 60, thank you. Did the camera just rack its own focus? It did finger, yeah. It's that FX3. Yeah, we aren't using cinema lenses anymore. I trust the autofocus of the FX3. Like right now, I want it to focus on the tom so people can see the finish and the sparkles and the ride, and not see up close my horrible technique. But hello. But yeah, when it's on my face, I want it to, or when my face is in picture, I want it to focus on me. But I also want it to like move between the gear, like just create different depths of field, you know? But hello. Cheers. Thirsty today. It's cooler, I guess, here than it's been. It still sucks though. There's no snow, so I'm still mad. Still mad about it. We're apparently getting the remnants of the hurricane. I believe it's Debbie, if I'm not mistaken, which is it's tropical storm, whatever, is dumping a lot of rain. We're supposed to get a ton of rain this weekend. Yeah, I'm having these like, I don't want to say breakthroughs, but the past couple days have been really cool practice-wise. I haven't been streaming, but man, a lot's going on in my brain. It's all crazy stuff, but we're learning, right? We're learning. So I'm taking stick control 1 through 8, and we're applying, instead of playing like straight eighth notes, dot, 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 I'm treating them as hertas, or like wherever we put the herta in a triplet, you know, it's 4 beats, so I'm just using these stickings, and man, learning a lot for sure. So we're taking, just starting with the herta on triplet, right? And then we're applying like right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Then diddles, right, left, left, right, left, 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 right, right. So there's like a million different things we're working on today, but trying to hear them all and how each hand sounds separately and how we can use that in context with jazz time, and then throwing flams into the mix. Sorry, adjustment time. You know what I'm talking about. But how are you guys? What's new? Did you start school yet? Finger? I think we got like a week and a half left before we're back at it with them white vans. Youngest starts college. Holy crap, Finger. I didn't know college. It was, I guess so. You did the big trip last summer, right? And time goes by way too fast. Holy crap. We have a neighbor whose son just graduated the Air Force Academy, and it seems like he just graduated high school. Like we were just at his graduation party thing. You know? It's wild. And the other one is going to college, another neighbor kid. 2 other kids. I have a junior higher. One of my kids is going to the junior high. It's wild. Man, it's crazy. Time, right? It seems like Josh was just finishing college. Right? Man, that's going by quick. I've been out of college. I'm trying to think. I graduated in 04. So, yeah, 20 years. Holy crap. Halfway dead. It's been a good few years. Yeah, Josh, doesn't it seem though like just yesterday? At least to me, it feels like you just got out of school. But yeah, man, you've been working and for a long time. Best years ahead. That's right. Was that? Oh, we're halfway there. Oh. That Bon Jovi. Oh. We're halfway dead. If we're lucky, we're halfway dead, right? How long I've lived in London for now, and I was quite shocked when it worked out. Yeah. It's crazy. I know it's focusing on the drums, but look at that snare. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, we've been in Pennsylvania here now for going on 7 years, which is crazy. Yeah, it's just wild. It's crazy. Okay. Hertas. I have a lot I want to get done today. But I have a lot I want to get done, but it's not anything like, I don't know, monumental, but I just want to work through all these ideas. So we're going to move kind of quick, and I might just take toms away and focus on ride and snare and kick, but I don't want to do that because if I feel like it, it's good to hear them as well. And I'm also trying to really work on fingers with match grip. So yeah, fun day. So right-handed Herta with a flam on the front. First note, flam at the start of the Herta. So cool. So again, I'm trying to hear like this one actually works better for me with the left hand because of the multiple rides in a row. So when you add a flam to it, so it's normally right, left, triplet or head. When you add that flam to the front, you add that left, so left, head, so you get two lefts right away. So cool. right hand herta, if you take just the eighth note triplets, again, I'm talking through all this, so please interrupt if you have questions. A right hand lead herta in triplets is really just triplet. But if you put the skip beat or the herta on the first eighth note, you're going to play the second note of 6. But that root note, eighth note is still there. Now for me, I could play that, but it's like, what is really my left hand doing? Like, if you separate it, right? And I noticed that I rely very much so on my right hand lead when it comes to all of these, or vice versa if I'm doing a left hand lead. Like, I have to have the other hand going in order for it to feel right. But one thing that was like that before was learning a paradiddle. In order to play a paradiddle, I'd always play like both hands at the same time. It wasn't until someone's like, well, separate the two rhythms. That was a game changer. So that's what I'm trying to do with these, is hear these rhythms, right? But without having to rely on both hands to hear it. And it's really hard. was so cool. So interesting. Like that left hand to me, I can play it. I know what it's doing, but I can't play it with feeling and confidence, just left hand alone, right at a high tempo. I still have to say the whole thing in my head, where if I was playing a paradiddle broken up, da 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 da, right? That's not super crazy, but these things are these heritas. You notice there's that because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the herita. The left hand and triplet is on beats 2 and beats 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's 1, 2. As you're playing fast, you get that it almost sounds like a flam, but it's not a flam. Hello, I'm doing good. How are you? All right, let's put a flam on beat 1. Still the same right hand lead, herita on the first note of the triplet, but we're going to put a flam with the left hand. So that's going to give us 3 quick lefts in a row. Or, I'm sorry, 2. right, with the flam. I like that. Guys for all the follows too. We've had a couple new follows. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Herta, and then with the flam on the front, it's interesting. So it should be a right-hand flam, right? So loud right, quiet left. So hard to pull that off. It's easy with my right hand. I really gotta work on that. That left hand finger, just that rebound. Yeah, we're getting to that. Yeah, that's so. Yeah, we're talking about like Heritas, obviously. The blushed, yeah, if you put that flam in the front. If we did that off a stick control, it would be number 9. Right? So if you take a single stroke roll. It's hard. It's super hard. But yeah. Nerissa, yeah, I love it. You know your stuff. Tony Williams. Oh my goodness! Behold the Queen. So Andy, hi. It's so good to see you. So when I see the word Queen, I just finished House of Dragons, and they teased Daenerys at the end, kind of, and so I'm thinking Queen, Andy, you're the mother of dragons. How was your stream? Hello, it's good to see you. Hi. But yeah, I'm working on taking the Herta, if anyone knows stick control, 1 through 8 of stick control. They're straight eighth notes, but I'm using these stickings in different versions of Hertas and trying out different things and putting flams in there. And Narishma, I hope I'm saying that correctly, brought up like Tony Williams kind of vibe. Tony was known for playing blushtas, and blushtas are super tasty. So yeah, the blushta it feels a little, it's right hand lead, right? So like dominant hand can play all the stuff. It's these left hand ones that are tripping me up, like where the diddles on the left hand, it's oh man, there's some cool little combinations. Alex, hi. What difference does it make, practically speaking, if you hit with the right or left hand? Well, with drumming, you're gonna have, most people have a dominant hand. It's just like writing with your left or your right. If someone said write your name with your right hand, you'd be like, oh, If someone said write it with your left, you could do it, right? It will take you longer and it'll probably look a little weirder. But usually drumming sounds better with your dominant hand. So drummers tend to play intensive things with their better hand. It's just more developed. The muscle reaction time, nervous system, all your finger muscles, everything, is just built up for more dexterity than your left. So it usually sounds a little better. That's a good question, though. I always saw it as a Swiss triplet with a drag on the partial. Yeah, no, for sure. You should check this out. So, Nirshma, if you take, like a triplet, and you put the partial or the diddle on the first, second, or third note, right? And then, do you have stick control? Essentially what you could do is take each one of those Herta variations or permutations and apply 1 through 8. So 1 through 8 is a single stroke roll, and then a left hand single stroke roll, single right hand diddle, left hand diddle, and then paradiddle, permutations. You can even take diddle permutations and add them. I guess they're not in here, but you could add it. But you get some really cool stuff. And then put a flam on the first part of the partial, kind of like you're talking about. And I mean, man, you just like switch hands. I mean, it's like endless. And if you want to go super nerdy, you have, 72 versions of this times 3. What's 72 times 3 times 3? That's what you get. That's how many you could do with these. I don't know math. I just go to 4. Is mixing up between limbs and first page alone. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. But like let's for instance, like just a normal Herta, right? Maurice, hi. What is your favorite exercise for feeling the pulse? Do you hear the pulse while playing? Love from Germany. Oh my goodness. Hi. Guten Tag. I love playing along to music. That's how I felt the pulse when I was learning. Just put music on and just bob your head, tap your feet. I mean, and I 100% do that when I'm playing. Just try to feel the root of everything. Every song, every rhythm has a root to it, a pulse. So yeah, I'm always feeling that. So the best exercise is just listen to music, bob your head, tap your foot. That's what I do. I don't know. I'm all about it though. Metronomes, I think, kill it. I'll probably be the one drummer that says don't play to metronomes, but practice to a metronome. Obviously, work on your timing so you can feel things and make sure you're accurate. But man, yeah, internal pulse is everything. Left foot on the hats. Oh man, love it. No, what I do, what this is so let's say we take a Herta, right, with a right hand lead, 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, but make it again triplet. So it's alternating. It's number 1 on stick control. Now just make it a left hand, so you'll have a left hand Herta, right? So you have right hand or left hand. Cool, and you'll notice if you take out the partial, that is just a double would be left, inverted, right? A paradiddle so cool because you'll notice like they'll shift, right? Do an inverted paradiddle. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's kind of like the blush stuff. You'll notice like this is a shuffle. Right? And obviously you could play the inverse of that. Right? And then take a reverse paradiddle. And then over the bar line, so it would be number 8. Right? This is where my head's at right now. Then, so you can do this with each permutation of a Herta, right? So the middle, or the first note of the triplet, second note of the triplet, third note of the triplet, you can apply all these, right? Then add a flam. This is where it gets nuts. Let me get nuts. Let's get nuts. And you'll notice like there's the patterns of like the 3s and 2s, and that's where we were working on. It's like there's a million things you could do. Right, so normal Herta. All right, to get that diddle, right? That's that flam. A left-handed one. This one's cool. Try diddles, so right, right, left, left. So like again, all three in a row. If you did a left hand lead diddle, sounds kind of cool. Laser, what's up? Good to see you again, man. Paradiddles. I'm probably like going so down the rabbit hole, but a paradiddle. Let's do inverted. Oh my gosh. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but you get the idea. There's like a million of these we could do. Laser, I hope you had an amazing rest of your weekend. It was fantastic to see you, and thank you again, you big brat. Let me slosh this around. Hold on, I'm drinking my goop. I think we should do some user requests. I know. We don't want to do it anymore, but I'm feeling it, brother. Laser, I'm gonna be honest. Part of me wants to do it. Like there's some really cool things, but I just gutted my YouTube channel for copyright things. I don't know how close it is to happening, but I think real-time copyright things are going to be happening very soon on a lot of platforms. There's some stuff going down. So it's just too risky, man, in all honesty. Dude, with the no again. Oh my gosh, dude. Big brat, man. Thank you. Lasers, wild. Like I want to do. I would love to, but even like doing the we're live on YouTube right now. So I don't know. Memberships is kind of like subs on Twitch, right? On YouTube, it's called memberships. And I can't unlock that because of copyright stuff. Even though some of it wasn't even public, I had it private. Like I took down all of my covers and stuff. It still wasn't allowing me to have membership, and I was chatting with someone on YouTube from it. So I gutted all those. I saved them all. Don't worry. I didn't just delete them forever. They're not all gone. But the copyright stuff is they're really clamping down on that, especially with AI just advancing like crazy in the detection. I feel for certain creators that rely on it, because I think this year is going to be the biggest crackdown on it for sure. I think with certain updates people are doing to these platforms and regulations that are, happening, I think it's just a matter of time before they're like, yeah, if you have any copyrighted material that isn't yours, it's so easy to detect now live and just shut it down. So I don't want to get back into the swing of doing it and rely on it as income, and because man, it can be taken away in a heartbeat. So, and I don't know. I see the joy in it, and we will be doing music on here for sure. Eventually again, but it's not going to be like commercially published stuff, just because it's just not feasible in the long run. But yeah, it sucks because it is fun. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to get back to jamming certain things. because I did enjoy it, and I've worked through a lot of stuff drumming wise that it would be cool to come back to it with this new kind of feel and touch that I have. But like after the end of a stream, man, it all just gets muted instantly, and it's only a matter of time before that happens live. You know, we've already seen it. Takedowns happen on YouTube, and things get muted on Twitch, so it's coming, you know. So I don't even have a way to do it now. Like my computer isn't even on for, you know, Spotify and all that. So, you know, music covers should be covered under fair use, in my opinion. Yes and no. I agree. If you put it out there, but here's the problem. And I guess like when you really dive into it and you're talking about it in an honest way, I benefited from other people's music for many years by streaming on Twitch, right? Like doing song requests, and you might think of it like, oh, it's harmless and da 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 da. But where we are right now in the music business, obviously the internet was a huge. It was a good and bad thing, right? Like it blew up the industry and accessed and allowed a lot of people to enter the industry and not be withheld from it because of like labels or whatever. That was a huge plus of it. But a lot of people, it hurt because, you know, I won't go into it too much, but it's like, you know, it takes a lot of money to make these songs, you know, and to put them out there and to do it right and to do it to the best of your ability. It's a lot of money still to this day. I know the Spotify drum or the Spotify guy is like, yeah, music is like so cheap to make, da da da. And man, it's still people's, you know, time and energy that go into it. And if you go to studios, if you hire a producer, if you hire a sound engineer, if you hire a mastering engineer, that's still not cheap. It's not like what I think people think it is. So to not get reimbursement for that and to put it out there and not have a return as a business model, it sucks. So I benefited off of it from years or for a long time. And the more I thought about it and doing it, I mean, it's just not right. You know, it's not my music, you know. If Justin Timberlake was like, dude, 100% play my songs on the internet for fun, let people have fun, he's probably like, yeah, whatever, cool. But you know, you can't go and do that to everybody. And I don't know, we're seeing it now. People use people's artwork all the time, and I know it's different, but it's just, it doesn't feel right. Even for fair use. I get with like teaching, you know, if you're teaching a student a song or something like that, and that's what fair use is. You know, if you're teaching something or teaching a piece of music to someone, it's okay to play it. But I'm on a platform where there's advertising. You know, people are obviously creators aren't making a lot of money from advertising, but the company is. And if your music is being played and people are making money, if you were the one that made a hit song and thousands of people are playing it and you weren't seeing anything from it, I think you'd be a little upset, you know? So there's a lot more into it. That's the quick version of it, but it's just not right. And I feel like so many people benefit off of other people's creations nowadays, you know? So if I care about the actual song more than the cover, I'll go to the official Vevo. Yeah, for sure. Well, we're talking different though, like drum covers. You're actually using the actual song. That's what everyone does. Whether they take the drums out or not, you know. I get a cover of someone doing it, like a cover of a Foo Fighters song. That's different, for sure. I think that's a little different. But when people are like, I'm talking about just drum streaming. When I see, you know, if you're just running down other people's material, it sucks. It's not cool. So yeah, I did it for a long time. I know. I've thought about this probably 1,000 hours, you know, and it deep down inside, you're like, I shouldn't be doing this, you know. But yeah, if you're a guitar player or if you're a band and you're covering a song and like 100% covering it, for sure. I think that's fine, obviously. Creators make a shift. Creators make a shit ton from ads. Not really. Maybe some do. But if you look at the ratio of audience, right, it's the same, like percentage wise. I think a lot, like the money from advertising is direct to creator, not from the platform itself. So if I was being sponsored by, let's say, Intel directly, yeah, you can make a ton of money. But if you're just going off of ads played off of, the platform, it's not really too much. What if you find a harp and heavy, you go ham on it? Hey, I got a saxophone now. But it is fun. Like, I get it. Like, hearing a drummer's take on a song. That's what I loved about it. I didn't try to mimic the song note for note. I always tried to add my character or my personality to it. But it's still, like, the underlying product is still there. And I'm using that as a way to make money. So, yeah. And there's a lot of other reasons, too. But that's the quick answer. But I'm still waiting for the Dan Guitar stream. Hey, I know, right? Hey, I loved, what do you call it? I love doing it laser. Like, I really did. Like, there's certain things about playing drum covers and just playing along. That's why I always called it recess to me, because, like, a lot of what I do is, like, very thought out and very, structured in regards to drumming. But that, when we were streaming, yeah, it's like recess. It's really fun. It's also damaging too. Like I said, I play a lot harder than I should have. When you're having fun, you're not paying attention. It's like when you're drunk, you're like running, you're falling downstairs, you're running into walls, you're getting in fights, you're like, woo, I don't feel anything. And then the next day you're like, oh my God, when did I get hit by a bus last night? That's kind of how doing covers was, and jamming on the internet is you get excited, right? Adrenaline kicks in and you're just having a good time. And then you realize, like, oh my God, it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you. So I miss it, but physically I don't. I'm a novice drummer, and I just feel like drums aren't a super interesting instrument to listen to in isolation. It just doesn't feel as good with backing track. Yeah, it's a support instrument, 100%. I agree, 1,000%. That's why I'm not like, guys, listen to me solo for 2 hours, because that's just like, oh my God. I'm practicing, and this stream is definitely for drummers who want to just geek out or have questions, and we're learning together. But I get it, 100%. No one wants to see a movie where the CGI is just like the frames. That's what drums are, I don't like to listen to drummers either, like that are like, hey, listen to my drum solo. It's like, oh God. I don't really care usually. But Hertas. Yeah, so this is what we're working on, or what I'm working on. And how, like with jazz, when all this stuff pops up, right, as a drummer, like listening to again, people like Elvin, Tony did it too. Yeah, Tony was definitely a lover of triplets. But I'm hearing these drummers just like play their comping stuff, their phrases, their patterns. I'm like, once you do like basic jazz, like 8th note stuff and 16th note, you start to hear it in playing, but then you're like, oh my God, this is like so much deeper than what I've been practicing. So I'm trying to tap into those, like where they put flams and diddles and all that stuff into the equation, and trying to just piece out some of these parts, because it's wild. most important part of your band. Maybe you are and maybe you aren't, but you're meant to be in the background. Yeah, I definitely agree. I was told a long time ago, if someone's noticing you're playing, you're doing something wrong. You know, or on stage. If an average person, average concert goer, is distracted by your playing, you're doing something wrong. So, but here it is. Whew. But Laser, thank you again. I totally get it. There's days where I just want to come down here and just jam and have some fun, but that's my reason. You know, all these different places. Like, I'm live on Twitter, I'm live on Twitch, I'm live on YouTube. If I played a song right now on YouTube, I would instantly just get my channel probably a week warning and like all this crap. And that's coming to Twitch too, I think. You know, there's every time recently, I don't know how it is now because we haven't done it in a while, but every time I would do song requests after I ended stream, I would get an email from Twitch saying like, hey, this is on your stream and this is on, like, just a list of all the crap, like within 30 seconds of ending the stream. And it's like, okay, I get it. You know, they're like, hey, you're not supposed to do this. So that's what I mean. I don't want it to be my bread and butter because it's not a solid thing. But yeah, if you come over, Laser, we'll jam. But all right, here it is. Get the camera moving again. It's been good. It hasn't disconnected in like 3 days. So the app, I don't know. It updated. Maybe they fixed it. Josh, I don't know if you're on speakers too. Let me know. But a new mix today. See, I can't just bust it out super quick. Oh, it's so frustrating with throwing in that flam. Just gotta get used to it, I guess. Thinking way too much about this. I hear good quality. Hopefully it still sounds good on the laptop. I was just curious. No, I did, what did I do? I took a little 20K out of the overheads, just a little bit. And then a little less compression on the Grandchild, on the 670. Again, part of me, like, going through all these, I have like a notebook and I'm not busting it out yet because when I come in here I want to see what I'm remembering without looking at that notebook. But I have this list of like variations of this that I like and that I feel sound really good. This variation, a left hand Herta lead, I don't like it, but when I put a flam on the front of it, because it kind of keeps that. Right? But just by itself, I don't like the right hand, how it like disconnects from a jazz feel, personally. You hear it like if you separate them. Tom's a little more. This is a little washy, so my articulation I think is sloppy. It's so weird. Love that, right? It's a little different. It's similar but different. It's a Zildjian Constantinople light ride, 20-inch, with 3 rivets. So Zildjian Constantinople light ride, 20-inch. The weight is 1,960 grams. But see this little 252 here? This is actually a prototype of the light ride, but I mean they're all really good, like the K Constantinople stuff. But the light ride is what this is, and it's one, I want to get one without rivets, or I'm on the hunt for one. I'll put it that way. But they're fantastic. They're not like in your face, like super like just bright, you know. But they're not dead and dry, like super Meinl dry or anything like that. They still got some sparkle and some sheen to them. But they're, what is it? There's gloss. I feel like certain cymbals are just like a gloss finish, really, really bright. This is like a satin finish of paint, and like flat would be like, Meinl, Agap, like real dry stuff. But yeah, beautiful cymbal. But let me try to see. I'm gonna play just normal time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Herta. But put the flam. So play a left hand herta. Put the flam, so the right hand will be. That's really hard. Right? See, I have 3 boys. I have 3 teenagers, so I read that and I was like, you don't need this cap, like no cap. Like, wait, what? Like I'm capping? I'm not capping you. That's a good symbol. Anyways, I see what you're saying. The top, yeah. If you're really playing heavy, like if you're beating the like just like really going to town, put them on, because you don't want that thing flying off. For jazz, and the way I'm playing right now, these are just rides. I'm not like really reaming on them. Yeah. If you put, we've done it before. I don't even have the felt in here. Is my camera freaking out? No, we're good. If you put the felts on and then tighten them down, the cymbals you choke the cymbals. They do tighten up and they sound muted, I guess. So having them off definitely lets them sound a little more alive. So, but if you're really hitting and your cymbals, like if you're a crash cymbal, you smack it and it's like flying all over the place. Yeah, be careful. I've heard very mixed stuff about it. Yeah, Josh, I've seen it. I know a lot of friends that have it. I'll be honest. I don't know how much of that is honest love for it or just like they gave them to them and they're like, oh yeah, they're great. I've seen a lot of like I consider biased reviews of them. I know people that have got them and love them, and they say good things about them, and then a month later I never see them on their kit. Because I think they look weird. Personally, like they just look silly on stands, and I don't know. I think they do maybe a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's a game changer. I think having lighter cymbal stands will give you the same effect for most people that play with like double braced, crazy thick hardware. Like just get thinner stands or like aluminum stands. I think you're going to notice the same kind of effect. And most of the time, like people are mashing and bashing their cymbals so hard anyway it's like, I don't think you're going to notice, like, holy crap. Like, now I can hear my cymbals good. So I see a lot of people speaking about them and suddenly not. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I feel like people have been gifted them. And that's when it comes to reviews, and whenever I see people reviewing drum equipment, if they started out by saying, I bought this with my own money and I am not sponsored, hashtag not sponsored, I can see sponsored stuff a million miles away, you know, like, oh guys, this drum is amazing. Check this out. Ooh, this microphone is my new favorite Tom mic. And then they never use it again. You know, like that kind of stuff. So I think they're cool, but I honestly think it's kind of a gimmicky thing. I don't think you're going to be seeing it all over and incorporated into every cymbal stand in the next 10 to 20 years. Because at the end of the day, I say this a lot, but the drum set, the roots of the drum set hasn't changed since 1940 something, right? Or when they started doing like a rack tom and, you know, a floor tom. Like, it's the same thing. We haven't changed it. It's exactly the same. All these like crazy new tuning systems and, you know, super sustaining mounts. It's like, okay, whatever. It's the same thing. You know, at the end of the day, it's a good question though. And I've played on them. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna change your whole game, you know. I couldn't believe a double bass pedal was invented in the 40s. Yeah. Double bass, Louis Bellson was the first drummer to bring up two bass drums on stage for a performance. He's not the first drummer to do double bass, but he was the first one to kind of like, if you look it up, back in the day, drum battles used to be a big thing, right? Like one big band, it's kind of like Grease, you know. They would like fight in the alleys, but they would fight. They would have like two bands. Like one band would have a drummer, and the other big band would have a drummer, and they would have these like, you know, oh, this drummer did a drum solo and blew the roof off of this club, this dinner club, you know. And this club used to, you know, this drummer, oh, last night blew the roof off of this, you know, whatever. So they used to have these drum battles, right, where these big bands, the drummers, they would be both in a big room and they would battle. That's where it started, right? Like dance battles or whatever. And Louis was doing this back and forth with this one drummer. They were doing like a week or 2 week residency somewhere in New York. Excuse me. And he, you know, every night they were doing these drum battles, and it would make the papers, right? Like, oh, Louis Bellson took the drum battle and blah, 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 blah. Back in the day, it was like big news. It was a big deal. And he wanted to step it up, so Gretsch was in town, and I believe he found he wanted to find a matching, was it a Rogers kick drum or something, in white marine pearl, because he's like, I want another bass drum. And they're like, for what? He's like, just give me another bass drum. I want it tonight for the drum battle. And he brought it up on stage and was, you know, doing just like, I don't know, using 2 feet, and it blew people's brains. You know, they were like, what the whoa? So he's like the first drummer to kind of like make waves with it, but he's not the first for sure. But there are, I don't know, a lot of drummers after that kind of took it to that place. So yeah, double bass playing, double bass pedals. It's old school. That's what I mean. The drum set hasn't changed at all. It's kind of the same. Everyone tries every year. It's like, I feel like drummers and drum companies are trying to like reinvent the wheel and like come out with like the new iPhone version of the drum set. But it's like, man, it's the same thing. You know, it's like, it's the piano, you know, like you're not going to come out with a new grand piano and make waves. So tell I must be very, very passionate. I'm very passionate, yeah. It has been my career for 20 some years. So I love it, yeah. The more you know, right? Seek it out. There's a great podcast too called the Drum History Podcast with Bart Vanderzee. He talks a lot about like these old stories and myths. Some of it is just old wives' tales. But you wouldn't happen to be Joey Fatone? Who's that? Joey Fatone? Maybe. I don't know who that is. Sounds like a gangster. Joey Fatone. All right. So again, I'm trying to hear these and feel these variations because I feel like it's gonna unlock some really cool things. Oh, NSYNC. Oh. Maybe he's a gangster. I don't know. Anyone watch Deadpool Wolverine? I saw it. I took my oldest son, and I'm sitting there. Plinko! I won't ruin it, but the first like 10 minutes of the movie, this doesn't ruin anything. They play Bye Bye Bye. Bye Bye Bye. Just another play in the game. It's so good. But I'm in the theater and I'm watching this and I'm like, man, if you would have told me when NSYNC was like at its prime and like on all the like teen magazines, you know, I'm like, if you would have told me that I would be sitting in a superhero movie with my son and being like, yeah, this is a good song. When I was, I don't know, when that came out, when I was like 15 or 16, I was like, man, this song's really good, and this is perfect for this movie. It was so good. It was so good. And I was just like, oh my God. I was laughing in the theater. I'm like, man, Bye 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 by NSYNC is being played in a crazy murder montage in Deadpool, and it's awesome. So yeah. It was the first time they ever changed the title of the YouTube video since it was posted in 2008 when they added that it was from Deadpool. Oh, that's cool. NSYNC changed it. Hey, how much money did Wolverine and all that make? I'm sure NSYNC got a cut of that, right? The licensing. Imagine that. Justin Timberlake's like, I know how I'm gonna pay my lawyer. That's perfect. Plinko, right? I mean, that song is so good. Oh, baby. Because they licensed the whole song, not just like 5 seconds of it. So yeah, they're making some good money. I don't even notice I got more money. Right at that point, do they even check their bank accounts? Like, I feel like I check my bank account every day. I'm like, there's money in there, right? Like, we're good. Like, okay, yeah. I wonder when's the last time. At that level, though, I mean, that's why like managers and all that like cheat all these artists, because like there's no way for them to keep track of everything. I've heard some crazy stories of one of my friends was at probably one of the biggest rock stars in the whole world, was at his house at his kitchen counter having lunch, and there was a pile of checks right next to where they were having breakfast, and he's like, they're kind of spread out all over the place, and you know, one's for like 150,000, one's for like 570 whatever thousand. There was like a million whatever checks just on the counter while they're having breakfast. And he looks over and he's like, hey man, like this is crazy, like this is right out in the open. And he's like, what? Oh yeah, they came yesterday. I don't know, someone's gonna come pick them up and deal with them. He was like making breakfast. There's literally like millions of dollars on the counter, and that's a daily occurrence. Like at that point, yeah, like do you even, they're like dollar bills, I guess, in your car. You know, you're like, oh, cool, here's $1. It's wild stuff. So there's a level of it, yeah, that just makes no sense. I'm not gonna name drop. He's probably the biggest. And one of the nicest, right? And Dirty Pop. Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot of stories. Yeah, people take advantage of artists, money-wise, so often. That's why, I mean, it's once you start getting into publishing and rights and points and all the legal stuff, and you have management companies, you have firms that are dealing with everything. It's just, it's like it's a company that maybe you own or have a part of, but you're like, I don't know what's happening. You know, there's thousands of people working on it a day. So, is there a gimmicky product that's come out that you actually like drumming wise? Big Fast Snare Drum is probably the best if you're gonna buy a gimmicky drum product. I mean, it's just a drum head, you know, cut up, but it's marketed, and it's a really great product. Excuse me, the way that they have it set up, I think Big Fast Snare Drum is probably the best drum product or gimmicky thing out there, but it works, and it's great. So yeah, Big Fast Snare Drum, and they're really nice too. You know, they're good people. You have one of those? Nice. I mean, right? It's kind of gimmicky, but all it is it's a drum head with the rim cut off. But it works. It's great. It looks cool. Sounds killer. So, and there's so many different versions of them now, you know? But when it came out, I was like, that's a drum head. Just flipped upside down and the rim's cut off. But big rock star called Dan Stone. Yeah. I just remember him telling me, and I was like, I believe it, because he was like, he was working at this person's studio and working on a project with him, and he was like, come on in, we're going to make breakfast. And he made everyone at the studio that was helping out breakfast. He was cooking for him like all day long. But like, yeah, his like mail's on the counter. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, that's from that show. Or this is from that blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that. And he, you know, it's crazy, that kind of income or influx of money, you know. It's out there for sure. Do you still use your TuneBot? I do, yeah. The TuneBot's great. I moved it. It's over there. I use the TuneBot, yeah. If you're a recording drummer or like a drummer that plays to like certain pitches, or like in jazz, like you have like a certain note range or interval that you like, a tune bot is very helpful, especially for recording to match the key of the song, or the bass player finding out like what the root your kick drum should be in, or harmonically where your snare should fit. The tune bot is great. Drum dials, no. Drum dials, big farts, no. Because depending on your heads and all that, it's not accurate. So tune bots, big fat snare drums, tackle percussion. I love their sizzles. Again, it's a gimmicky thing, but they're really cool, like the little sizzle reels that you can put on your cymbals. Drum dots, moon gels, those are gimmicks. You just get gaff tape, you don't need that stuff. The new hotness right now are those cymbal things that Josh mentioned, and those like new air, whatever, those like circle felt pillows that you put on your drums for mutes. They're cool, but everyone that uses them and is recommending them, I know they sent them to them for free. I know they got like 20 of them in the mail, and they're like, hey, can you review this? And like, people aren't going to be like, these are whatever, just get a handkerchief. No one's going to say that. So when you see like every drummer reviewing the same product all within like a month, that's the marketing team discovering Instagram. I'm spicy today. My wife would be like, you're not being very nice. But all right. Here it is. So, again, anyone, if you've ever learned paradiddles, when I was shown a paradiddle, I thought, what is the point of this? Why are we playing it? It just sounds like this. Like, why learn that sticking? What's the point of it, right? The point is, right, that rhythms, right? So if you take a paradiddle, right, left, right, right. So say this is, let's do this. If this is the rights, oh my God, and this is the lefts. Okay, hold on. Oh my God. And you invert them, right? They line up. Right, left, right, left, right, left. There's two rhythms that make up a paradiddle. So even though they sound like a single or a diddle, right, all these different stickings, it's not until you separate them, the different parts of the drum set, that you hear these rhythms within rhythms. So when we've been working on Herta stuff, and I'm trying to feel this in context to like jazz comping and why learn it, what can I do with it? I've noticed that these roadblocks that I'm hitting, like, or these bottlenecks, right, like in speed and in just like gracefully playing these without, faltering or feeling tension come into the feel. It's my lack of understanding of the rhythms within rhythms of these Hertas and all these different stickings. So that's on me, right? Like I'm just not versed in them. I don't play them a lot. I don't add them to my repertoire a lot. So they're foreign to me. And it wasn't until I practiced paradiddles separately, or like took an inverted paradiddle and split it up around the kit. Till I kind of know what it was. So same with these, like I'm realizing I want to play these things. I want to get better at them. I want them to be like you hear Keith Carlock play these just like perfectly, but just moving them around the kit like a boss, but it takes understanding of the most simplest things for it to really come through. So that's what we're doing, is taking simple things, simple stickings, but trying to really, really understand them. So if you're a drummer and you're working on this, please let me know. Interrupt with questions. I love talking about this stuff because, again, I feel like when people start learning jazz, we focus on eighth notes, right? Like 1, 8. Right? But you listen to like Elvin, and again, all these like great drummers, Roy, and you just hear all these like just super, they sound like crazy, right? Like feels, notes, ghost note patterns, and you're like, how's one person playing this? This doesn't make any sense. And the more I'm like learning and again, trying to hear all this stuff, I'm realizing they're basic ideas, but just super, super practiced and understood by these drummers. So when they play them, it just sounds, you know, it doesn't sound like a Herta with a flam. Doesn't sound like that to that, you know. I'm playing it, it sounds like an exercise, but when you hear these great drummers play it, it's just like effortless, right? So I'm trying to learn how to talk a little more advanced with the letters that I already know, you know. So I'm at the first grade reading level for some of these, and some of these make sense to me. Some of them I love how they sound, and I understand how to use them and where to put them and how to make them feel like me. I would say maybe 10% of the time. The other percent is just me figuring out, okay, I'm learning this word, I'm learning this way to talk with this sticking or this pattern, but where would I use it? Why would I use it? Where could I use it to make it sound like me? So that's what we're exploring. So yeah, we're still on head at it, triple it, right? Or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 out of 6. You know, and then again putting that flam. Something that isn't new to me, like I've played this stuff a lot, but it's like orchestrating it. And again, understanding also just the roots of all these. I've never thought about writing a book, I'm going to be honest, but all this stuff, the more I like dig into it, I'm finding there's so many cool concepts in here. It's the first time ever in like 25 years plus of drumming that I've been like, this could be a cool like book idea. Right? There's like so much to talk about with this. We're starting at the very beginning. Texas, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, we're just starting off with stick control, right? 1 through 8 of stick control. Just take 1 through 8. I know everyone has stick control. Take those stickings, and instead of 1 and 2 and, just put in a Herta. Herta, right? So you have right, left, doubles, right, left, da 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 da, or da 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 da. Paradiddle, da 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 da, left, right, Herta, 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 Herta. Inverted paradiddle. It's wild. There's like so many things. So it's like bunk beds for drums. So much room for activities. But Texas, I hope you're good. It's good to see you. There's so many cool things we can do, and even just repeating the same ones. Head of the I love it. There's like so many cool things. What was that? I don't even know. So it would be an inverted left-hand paradiddle. But if you played it as doubles, so I guess doing left-hand inverted doubles, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. But then put a flam on that first left. So you'll add 3 rights in a row. I love that. Right? Some sound really cool. Some sound super lame. But it's like just finding all these possibilities, working through them, and go like, oh, that's cool. That's probably my favorite. Texas, thank you. I've uttered amazing. I'm no fool. I love it. That's super kind of you. Holy crap. I think you're the first one to do that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I've never had that happen before. I don't know what to do. Can I like that? I can. Oh my gosh. The first super. Yeah, it says first one. Thank you. Oh, man, that's wild. That's so cool. Please let me know if you're going to practice this stuff or try it. So I'm not the only crazy one. But I don't know if you are from Texas, but I was just looking at an A&F kit, and I know I shouldn't be, but speaking of Texas. That's so cool. Come on now. Come on now. So that's... right? That's taking doubles. So normal doubles, if you did right, right, left, left. Head, head. Do right, left, left, right. Left. And left, right. Texas, holy crap, thank you. And another 10, everyone's got their chance to break. Hold on. Great song. I wish I could play it. Thank you. Seriously, that was very kind. Appreciate that. I'm learning the ways of YouTube, and like how all their stuff works. I think it's really cool. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna try at one day this week to I'll stream on YouTube, but I want to try a full resolution, like 4K 60 stream, and see how it looks. Cause just, I'm curious. Why does that keep doing? The focus keeps going crazy just at that one position. But again, thank you. I got to figure out alerts for YouTube. Guys, if you're on Twitch or Twitter, Texas Operator did 2 $10 supers. That's super nice. But yeah, I got to get all that set up. I'll do it tonight, I promise. All right. I'll post this online. Like, I'm going to write all this stuff out and just the thoughts and how these combinations all play out. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're just going to triple it. Let's start with singles. Then we'll add the flams to the singles. We'll do the doubles. Then we'll add the flams to the doubles and all the different permutations. And then we'll try the paradiddle inversions. So that would be 5, 6, 7, and 8 on stick control. And then we'll apply the reverses of those and flams. So I mean, there's so many things we could be doing. Man, Texas, thank you. Super kind. Thought process. I'm speaking this out loud. If I'm starting with a right-left Hertha, right? I'm going to end the last note of, let's say, a bar of 4 of these in a row is a left hand. So that would be like the lead into the downbeat. We did the flams. So fast for my left. If we did a right hand lead or left hand lead, technically we could end on like that, like over the bar line feel. Texas and Josh. I don't know, Josh, if you're on YouTube, but the person we were talking about earlier is talking about the person, sort of. What? Holy crap. Wish you much success and happiness on that. Dude, holy crap, with 100. Texas. Dude. I'll say, I know a lot of really good people from Texas. I want to go there. I'm not kidding. The food, people, everyone. Thank you. That's insane. Wow. Holy crap. Seriously, thank you. Such a good song. Trying to think of like a triplet version of that song. They're kind of in there. I got another so good. Thank you. Seriously. That's super nice. Yeah, right, John? Legend. Like, I'm reading it and I'm like, I hope that person's not watching. Be like, damn, don't tell everyone I made people breakfast. And I got my checks on my counter. I'm your fool. Is that? Yeah. I got another confession. That's such a good song. I'm no fool. Yeah. Everyone's got the chains to break. Oh, do you? Would you ever regret being a fool? I'm getting those lyrics wrong. Man, that's such a great one. It's good. David, you know how to write some tunes that are good. There's certain people that just write good songs, and he's a great person, but man, he's a great songwriter. Wow. Texas, seriously, thank you. That's super kind. I don't know what to play now. Trying to like incorporate Heritas into Best of You. That sounds fun. But Josh, if you were curious, that's so funny. Dun, 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 dun. I haven't listened to that song in a long time. That's a great song. Like, seriously, really good. But thank you. That's wild. I still have it in my head. Heritas. Seriously. Texas. My mind is blown. All right. We're going to work singles. We did singles. We did flames. Let's go to doubles. So we'll do doubles if you take 4 notes, right? And if you do singles, it's just a pattern of 2. If you start with the right hand, right, left, right, keeps going. If you flip that over, start with the left hand, left, right. Not too crazy. 4 notes in a row, even with the Herita, right, left, or left, right. There's always going to be a repeat of that. And again, on a kit, it's like finding out. I was always taught like lows and highs, right? Right, that boom, that like downbeat, that right, that we all. Snare is kind of like an upbeat or like a accent or some kind of pop, some splitting note. If you're playing a Herta, a right-handed Herta, that snare kind of acts like a pickup note, or right, instead of just going bam, it's kind of like a batoosh, kind of is neat. If you play a left-handed, no, it technically you would end the right hand on that last note of the triplet, and it would be on the ride, technically like an over the bar line feel. I'm having a hard time feeling it and hearing it in a way that sounds good to me. How are you doing? They just played that, right? That was the anniversary of Freddie Mercury doing that concert in Queen a couple of weeks ago, I saw. Don't worry, I won't sing it. Texas, I don't know if you're here still, but that, I've never made money off of YouTube. Meaning, so that might be the first like YouTube thing. So I really appreciate that. That's cool. First time, right? Those rivets go crazy. Yeah, that's why I love this camera here, because I love watching rivets. I know it's weird. It's a weird thing, but you can kind of see some on this one, but I love them, right? Bro, I moved to Phoenix. The quality amount of concerts here is crazy. Oh, Laser, nice. We have family in Phoenix. It's hot there. Still here. Nice. Thank you. Like, for real. That's, again, super crazy. You and Laser both. You're big brats. Gilbert is, I mean, they're not like directly in Phoenix, but man, it's hot there. It's crazy. Crazy hot there. When I was in LA, I thought I was dying there. And when we would go visit her family in Phoenix, I was like, holy crap. It's hotter than Vegas. It's super hot there. It's like, oh, you missed Tool? Wait 3 months. It's a great town. Yeah, they got a lot going on. A lot of sports. The college, my nephew. There's a lot of great colleges there. Great town. Yeah. But I don't know if I could live there, man. Do you like living there? Does the heat bother you? And I could live there because LA, I just stayed inside with the air on. But the Phoenix heat was hot. It's hot, for sure. The camera moves. Yeah. It's on the robot. We're down to one camera, Sibo. I kind of downsized here, and instead of having multiple cameras, we just got focused on one really good camera. Because my thought was like, I'm not like stick twirling doing anything wild and crazy anymore, So it's just one camera. It's good, man. I'm never in the heat. Have a pool and AC everywhere. Nice. So you're good, yeah. So how long have you been there, Laser? Because winters we would go there for Christmas sometimes. I don't mind it. And Like November through February, it's pretty chill there. January, okay, yeah. So you know, it's not bad then. It's actually quite nice, comfortable. I prefer dry heat over humidity any day. Like down south, like Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia. I couldn't live there. There's no way. You couldn't pay me. Humidity and me were just not. I just don't enjoy it. I don't like that feeling. The dry heat though, I don't mind. I have asthma. I've had it since I was like little. Humidity and asthma, just boom. I can't. I'm puffing my inhaler every 5 seconds. I'm like that kid in the movie that's like, that's me. Or the kid on Bob's Burger that's like, that's 1,000% me. But dry heat actually is really good for asthma. I don't know. When I lived in LA, I never used my inhaler unless I ran, which was hopefully not ever. But when I'm around humid, even like in Pennsylvania, like in the summer, I use my inhaler right before bed, just because the humidity, I don't know what it is, it irritates the airwaves. So Flagstaff is great in the winter. Woo, snowboarding, the snow. You should go to Maynard's winery. That is in Sonoma? No. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's on the Verde River. Oh, it might be Sedona. You should go to that. Just if you don't know what it is, go there. It's got a restaurant, the winery, and he's usually like picking up trash, driving around, helping out. He's such a cool dude. So if you miss Tool, just go to his winery. What's the name of it? Okay, hold on. I have a bunch of his like glasses upstairs. It's a very cool name. Oh my god. I'm having a mind blank, dude. Oh my gosh. I want to say Mir de Noms, like the song, but it's not. There's a wine that he did after that, but there's a wine he did after his mom. If you type in Maynard James Keenan Winery, it should pop up. But it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Because no one grew grapes in that area, and he started doing it, and it's like thriving. It's great, and he's really into it. I think there's a movie he made about it as well, which is worth checking out too. Like this is probably 10 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago, I think, when the movie came out. But he's been doing it now for 10, 12 years. Oh no, hold on, timed you out. You got yelled at. Please ask him. I don't know how to undo that. Laser. No. Did you get? Oh, you got timed out for 2 seconds because you posted a link. I'm so sorry. I don't remember how to do it either, Josh. It's either permit. It might be ! Permit. Terrible mod. Me, not you, Josh. Me. I'm like, I should say terrible streamer. I think it's permit. You will get timed out. You will not get timed out. So if you want to repost it, go for it. You can repost it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think that's his, yeah, that's it. Or is this his restaurant? No, that's it. Yeah. The Vineyards, you can definitely check it out. Judith is one of the wines, I know. Yeah, no, that's it. Caduceus. Here, I'll put it in YouTube for people to check out there too. Hold on. If you're watching on YouTube, check this out. Oh God, copy. Copy current address, and I'm going to try to post it in YouTube. So if you're watching, we're talking about Maynard's. Nope, it didn't work. I don't know. Drummer trying to use the internet. Copy current address. I'm going to try to paste it over here. Paste. Nope, it's not pasting what I need it to. But it's Caduceus, CADUCEUS.org. That's Maynard's kind of like wine empire in Arizona. But yeah, it's worth a day trip for sure, ladies. You'd love it. You would love it. Good food. He has like food trucks there too that do all kinds of stuff, and he's way into like building up the town with restaurants and good food and wine, and wanting to have people come visit, bring some commerce to the community. So he's the real deal for sure. He's like a farmer. He's a farmer now that's the lead singer of a rock band. That's who Maynard is now. He's legit. It's pretty cool. But yeah, great job. Barbarowski, hello, is the name of one of Taleson's character in CR as well. What's CR? I don't know what any of that is. Barbarowski is the name of Critical Role. See, I'm old. I don't know what that means. My kids will probably be like, Dad, you suck. You're so old, Dad. Critical Role. What is that? Probably a cool show, right? The last show I watched was House of Dragons. So I'm excited for the next season, because anything with dragons in it, I'll watch it, even if it sucks. I love dragons. They're super cool. Nerd secretly plays D&D. I'm a big nerd. Hello. But I'm playing Elden Ring. I love that. Love Elden Ring. It's because it's got dragons. House of Dragons, Game of Thrones. Love dragons. Do you guys remember the movie Braveheart? When I was a kid, that movie with, what's his name? James Bond was the voice of the dragon. That was my movie. Oh, man. Love that movie. Dragonheart. Not Braveheart. Did I say Braveheart? Dragonheart. I might have said Braveheart. No, that's not my favorite. Dragonheart with what's his name? Who is James Bond? Holy crap. He was on Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Sean Connery. That's right. Sean Connery was the voice of the dragon. Great movie. I'm a sucker for dragons. They're awesome. There's been some bad dragon movies too that just didn't deliver. You know, they were supposed to be cool. Aragon, those books were cool. The movie sucked. Sean Connery, isn't he dead? I'm pretty sure he died, right? Sean Connery? Aragon was such a bummer. Yeah, I was hyped too. Because I thought, like, okay, they're doing Harry Potter like this. They're going to do the Aragon series. It's going to be really cool. No, not cool. The song I liked, it's a trying to figure out this. Avril Lavigne wrote a killer song for it. Right? Shout out to Canada. Yeah. Part of me wonders, because she was married to Chad. Chad Kroeger from Nickelback. He's a great songwriter. When I first heard it, I'm like, this could be a Nickelback song. like it's a damn cold night. I'm wondering if he's got like songwriter credits. I never looked, but when I first heard it, I'm like, that's a Nickelback song. Take me by the hand, take me somewhere new. I don't know who you are, but I'm with you. Right? A little bit. Which I'm a big Nickelback fan. So. Yeah, the Poutine is really good. All right. Header. You guys are the best. This is why I like streaming. Just jamming, talking. It's fun. Now I want to play Foo Fighters, and I want to play Avril Lavigne. Blame you guys. Speaking of Nickelback, Craig Reynolds, his Downbeat podcast, everyone should check that out, just interviewed Chad's brother, Scott, forgive me, the bass player of Nickelback. And it's a really good listen. Like, they're a great band. The drummer, Daniel Adair, I've known him for a long time when he played with a band called Martone, or a guitar player from Canada. He got the Nickelback gig, and I was like, oh, snap. He's a monster player. So they're a really good band. Ryan is a fantastic guitar player, one of the most solid out there. There was a joke. The guitar player for Foo Fighters, I forget his name, and then Ryan from Nickelback. There was always this joke of like, like Chad Smith and Will Ferrell, like they look alike, But just they're one of the most solid bands out there. Nickelback just rips. Like, honestly, they don't play the like clicks. They don't like play the backing tracks. You go to a Nickelback show, you're gonna get like a rock show. And it's real and it's awesome. And you might think the songs are cheesy and lame, but they write great parts. The drums are ripping, the guitars, like Chad's a phenomenal guitar player. It just rips. One of his best friends was Dimebag Darrell, so it's like, there was respect there. He's a great player. Cottonwood, Arizona. Yeah, it's not far from Phoenix. It's like, what, an hour and a half-ish? Right? Laser, I really think you would enjoy it. Taking a day and just, I don't know. It's something different that you wouldn't expect. And it's in Arizona, like a full-fledged winery and restaurant. It's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. Yeah, so what is that? Flagstaff is, about an hour-ish, right? Hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm trying to think. We used to tour. We would play, oh my gosh, there's a theater in Flagstaff and a couple clubs. And then we would drive down, play in Phoenix, drive over San Diego, all that stuff. But Blythe, sorry if you live in Blythe. But Flagstaff, being from Pennsylvania and living in LA, going to a place that had like pine trees and like snow, I was like, oh man, I love it. I loved it there. fun place to visit. So, about 2 hours. I know I keep playing the same thing, but this is what's in my head and working through all this stuff. So it makes sense playing a left-handed version of this. Left-handed here, it's a headed, right? Headed. So it's like, if you take the skip beat out, it's really just a left-handed herita is like doing a triplet pattern. We could do. Blythe is where Charles Manson said the portal to hell is? Wait, are you serious? I gotta tell my wife that. I'm not kidding. Blythe, when you're on tour or you're driving from LA to Phoenix or Phoenix to LA, you see Blythe like in the distance and you're like, oh man, we're close. There's a city coming up. And you're like, yeah, we'll stop to go to the bathroom or get some food. And then like an hour goes by and you're still not there. You're like, I see it. And then all of a sudden you're in Blythe and like you never leave. You're like, when are we going to get out of Blythe? It's just weird. It's a weird, yeah, I believe that. My wife is going to laugh. She's going to think that's really funny because we would always joke about Blythe. We're like, what the heck? You can never get there, and then you can never get out. Like when you're in there, it's weird. It's like dead center of like those two, and you're just, I don't know, maybe you're just on the road too long and you're losing your brain. Max, so what's up? In Lordsburg, New Mexico. I've never been there. They would go there between murders. Jeez. Blythe. That's where I had my first hot pepper, jalapeno, and I hated it. Someone tricked me, put it on my burger. Or habanero, I'm sorry, habanero. I was very mad. I didn't want to talk to anyone. They like slid it into my Carl's Jr. You know how Carl's Jr. has that like little, like you could put like, you know, they have like, I don't know, peppers and pickles, and like you could put them in the little cups and take them to your table and put them on your burgers, whatever. We were at a Carl's Jr. and I had a Western, $7 Western cheeseburger, and I was so excited. I go to the bathroom and I come back and I took like a big bite, and they had put a bunch of those little habanero, little like cut up things in my burger. Man, I was pissed. Cause you know, that was like all we were gonna eat for like a day. When you're on tour, you stop and eat like once. So I was like, oh my God, this burger is gonna be so good. And after that, like my whole mouth burned, everything I wanted to eat so bad, but I hate spicy foods. Hate them. I was really pissed. And I think that show, so do you guys know the Roland, sorry, I'm talking like crazy. Do you know the Roland SPDX? And now everyone uses them. Like it's like the cool, everyone's got one. But I have the OG, I have the original. And the band I was playing with, we didn't have a bass player. I think I fired him right before tour. Whatever. And I was like, I told our guitar player, I'm like, just play the bass parts, record them, we'll get them down. We went to a studio and we just took the bass tracks from our album, I think, tweaked a couple things for live, and on the SPDX, I panned one side was the metronome. So we had the tracks on the big old cards for the old memory cards. I had the bass player and mono on the right and the click on the left or whatever. So we had a bass rig, we had the head, we had everything, and I just would like tap the SPDX each song, and it would just play the sample, but the sample was the whole song. This is before, laptops and like mobile Pro Tools rigs. So we had a bass player, but we were in Flagstaff. We just played a show, and it's like 2 a.m, whatever. We're packing up, we're leaving. We gotta go. I feel like we had to play in Phoenix that next night, and then we were going back to LA. So in Flagstaff, we played, and we're packing up, and we're backing the trailer out, right? Drove over my cymbal bag and the SPDX. Our bass player. I drove over our bass player. And I was like, oh my God, no. And we were all freaking out. And it was so late. We were just tired. We had done a bunch of stuff before that, like the shows. And we were just like, oh God, it's over. Like our little mini tour is over. And we get to the hotel that next night, or that night, I think we got to somewhere in Phoenix, or maybe we were staying with my in-laws, I think. And because they were gracious enough to let us stay there. And I was like, we got to test it. I don't know if it's going to work, because it didn't crack, but it like, you could see tire marks on it. Cymbals were okay. Some of them were a little weird, because it was just a trailer that drove over it, not the truck or the van. We had a big van. And so we took it out, and I was like, guys, I don't know if this is going to work, because I just drove over it, right? Like we didn't know, because it was it. Like, do we cancel the show or whatever? And I remember I plugged it in and nothing. Plugged it in, turned it on. No lights came on. Nothing happened. And I was like, I'm sitting there. It looks okay. Nothing's cracked, but I can see like tire, like indentations from where the tire. And I'm like, oh God, this is it. So I'm like, give me a screwdriver. I took all the screws off the bottom, and I took the top off. So the rubber pad, like it's one big rubber pad. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it looks okay. I don't know. It won't turn on, though. So we're like looking around, see if we see anything. I'm calling like buddies. I'm like, hey, can I borrow the... No one has one yet, because they weren't a big thing, but we were using it, like I said, for a bass player. And like 808s. It was a big thing in the 2000s to be like, dude. I was like, guys, I don't know what we're going to do. So I'm like, I'll just put it back together. I put it back together, screwed it up. And my friend's like, just try it one more time. And I was like, it's not going to work. I don't know. I think I killed it. It's just not. I don't know what broke. Hit the button. Boom. It turns on. And we were like, oh. And we tried it. And we were like, it worked. And it still works. I still have it. I don't know what it is. I just took it apart, didn't do anything, put it back together, and it was fine. Don't know how to explain it. And we tried to turn it on like 20 times before I took it apart, and it wouldn't turn on. So something must have got like crunched or kinked. And then I unkinked it. I don't know, but it worked like a champ. So we get to Blythe. I'm like freaking out. I'm still pissed. So it was a whirlwind couple days. And then they put peppers in my burger as revenge for killing our bass player. It's a little harsh though, right? Right? Just a bass player. What's the worst place you've ever toured, performed? The worst place? Oh man, there's a bunch. The worst ever. There was a club called The Good Hurt in, I think, Santa Monica. I never liked playing there. The sound was weird. It was a weird stage. It was just a weird place. I never liked when we played there. One of my favorites, though, a lot of people hated it. A lot of people said it was the worst place ever. I still don't know if it's still around. I hope it is. But the Cat Club in LA if any of you OGs know, the Cat Club was like this small hole in the wall dive bar. And the house kit was like 50 years old, but man, it sounded good. And that room was just cool. There's always cool people there. That was one of my favorite places to play. The Cat Club and the Key Club. I love playing the Key Club. That the other day with a wireless inner monitor pack didn't work. Sound check. Oh, pre-show, couldn't see anything wrong. Put it back together and it worked. It's so weird, right? But then that's what I was worried, because we still were doing this tour. And I remember being like, I don't know if it's going to work. Like, should we cancel? Like, it's working tonight and it's working now on the table. But like, what if we set everything up and I hit, and I'm like, oh, guys, you know, to not have a bass player at a rock show, that sucks. You really notice it, you know, when that low end isn't there. But probably the worst, probably the Good Hurt. I never liked that. There's something weird about that place. I never liked it. I mean, I've played a lot of like crappy parties and crappy, you know, shows or festivals. But as far as like performances go, I'd say probably that place. But the Cat Club and the Key Club were always my favorites. I'd play there whenever, with whatever band, just because I enjoyed it. It's a good place. The Cat Club was probably as big as this room, and the stage was probably, I don't know, it was really just a drum riser. Most of the time, the drums and then the band would just kind of like sit on the floor or stand on the floor. I saw some really great people play there. I'm really out of the loop when it comes to touring and shows, all these venues, because it's been about, my son's going to be 12 years. He's going to be 13. It's about when I stopped playing shows, is around 2009, 10. I stopped like playing like the rock, you know, touring, being in an original band kind of thing. And I would do like corporate gigs and with certain things, and artists, hired gun stuff, but it's been a while since I've toured and done that scene. So those venues come and go, different owners all the time. So I'm really out of the loop when it comes to that. Crappy parties all day long. Yeah, you know, right? Some of those are really fun though. Some of those are a blast, but some of them really suck. That's part of it, right? It's part of it. You can pick your brain, dude. You stop touring when music started getting bad. Coincidence? Yes. No. I happened to be in the city that was known for music at a time when I'm going to say music was dying in regards to like a business or an industry. You know, LA, New York, Nashville. Nashville's still doing pretty good. New York is a ghost town. LA now is a ghost town. But I got to LA in 2002, and that was right at the start of the decline, where the big labels were buying up the smaller ones, and a lot of merging, a lot of studios were closing. Venues were rapidly changing owners just because there was no profit in them anymore, especially all those like clubs on Sunset. You know, it was a very different time. So I got there thinking like, yeah, this is, you know, join a band, go to A&R, talent, you know, showcases. And we had A&R from all labels. You know, we signed with a couple different labels over the years, and everything would get shelved, or just budgets would just go away because there wasn't any money. And yeah, you just saw that whole thing kind of slide. That's why I stopped when I did, because I was like, there's no, I mean, you could still tour, you could still do it, but you can't like have a car payment and a house or pay for insurance on a touring drummer's budget, sadly. And I don't even know now. There's still stuff. Dom, what's up, dude? I saw your video yesterday with you walking. It made me very happy. Not as much as it used to be. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's always going to be music in the music cities. There's still super great things happening in LA, but it's at a very high level. I'll put it that way. You know, some of the like Capitol and all those, the big names, Warner Music and all those, they're still operating at a pretty high rate. Orchestral stuff, the movie industry, still some great things that happen there. New York, hip hop's still a big thing in a sense. Jazz, if you're gonna do jazz, 100%, it's New York. Orchestral, classical stuff, New York's a great place. Vocal, Broadway. So yeah, there's still a lot happening. But if we're talking about like rock band, like original music, that sort of thing, it's completely gone in almost everywhere. Sadly, it sucks. And I say this all the time. Name me a really popular rock band now that is within the last year or two. And I'm talking about like huge, you know, that everyone knows who they are all over the place. And I don't know, every rock band that's massive and selling out arenas is at least 20 years old to 15. A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, man, I saw. That's awesome. It's exciting. It's fun until you dive in the studio stuff, discovering a new universe. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I was on that. I was in, you know, original bands, like I said, signed with labels. I was seeing Buddies, Smile Empty Soul. They were a great band. Buddies of ours. I don't know if you guys remember their song, I Did It For The Drugs, right? Great band. They were on tour with Fuel. They got signed. They went out on the road. They blew up, and we were like, "Oh yeah, all right, it's happening." Friends of ours are getting signed, and we're going on the road with them and doing cool shows and festivals. And then it's time for them to do a second album. They record it, and we're like, "Hey, when's it coming out?" They're like, "I don't know." And it's big acts. I'm talking like that were pretty big draws at the time. Started getting their second album shelved, just being like moved on, and we're like, crap. And you just see that happening, and like all these other labels getting bought up and projects moved around and bands getting technically sold to other, you know, people. It sucked. And yeah, it's that whole industry as far as like rock and progressive and modern music like that. Metal and certain proggy things are still kind of chugging along, but the budgets are not what they used to be at all. So a lot of those guys still have to work their butts off just to keep their mortgage going. So it's a completely different industry, unless, like I said, you're top tier pop music or, you know, hip hop or country. That's kind of where people are still spending money, sort of, but it's super declining, the whole industry in general. Video game band has been taking off lately. Yeah, man, it's super cool. Yeah. Trying to balance streaming, making videos on top of all that. Yeah, it's a lot. Jam, what's up? Hi. If you don't know, when you know. Yeah. What pays the bills today, Dan? How we feeding those kiddos? Just playing, right? Studio stuff, all that. I mean, I started doing that 2009 when I decided to not do, you know, original bands and touring and all that stuff. Teaching was a big thing in LA, as at least as far as like a constant check coming in. But I started doing like remote recordings and all that back when all the studios were shutting down. Because I would go record and they'd say, "Hey kid, you know, you got to learn how to do this on your own because we probably won't be here in a year." And I'm like, oh, snap. So I noticed all the studios, bigger studios, tightening up. People couldn't afford to go in there. A lot of the clients that I was working with. So it was like, just learn how to do it. So mainly recording is the bread and butter these days. Streaming, for when we moved here and when my wife wasn't working, she took a few years off. I leaned into streaming like 1,000% because that was the bread and butter, and it was really good. But we've talked about it a lot. But I didn't enjoy like just doing the song request thing, and it takes a toll on you. So it's been nice to get away from that. But yeah, still drumming, but it's mostly recording and projects for people like that. So a lot of views. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, if a really good streamer, a really good entertainer, a really good band or comedian or whatever, if you know what to do, if you know the moves, if you know what to do, you'll succeed. And like with streaming and all this stuff, if you know what to do, yeah, you'll be successful. And you have a good attitude and a good personality. I love the people aspect of it. I love talking with people. But just the physicality of it, like I said, playing a bunch of songs that maybe you don't know what the changes are or anything like that, it takes a toll on you after a while. At least for me, it did. And I just, some days you don't feel like playing the songs that you're playing. It's just, you're faking it, And so when my wife started working again, and I'm like, okay, I'm still going to stream. I'm still going to do this, but I'm going to do it the way I wanted to do it, the way I intended to start off with, just nerding out about drum stuff. Sitting here playing Heritas for 3 hours if I wanted to. That was my intent in the beginning. But like I said, it became a means to pay the bills. So yeah, if I knew what to do, I'm like, all right, I'll do song requests. I'll busk, right? You can make it happen. So it worked. Yeah, we had a lot of views, and it was awesome. You guys showed up for sure for me and my family. But at the end of the day, it was like, I still am the same person. I still love talking about stuff. I still love talking about music and drumming. But it's really nice because I don't have to, I don't know. It's 100% what I want to do all the time now. Where before it was like, all right, now we got to play this 21 Pilots song. Or, okay, now we got to do Kelly Clarkson. Nothing against them. They're great. But, it's not the stuff that I listen to or really want to play, So it's now you're getting the real me 100%, 1,000% of the time. So, so now you're making money from recording drums in your studio. Yeah. Twitch support. Twitch to me right now, it's streaming on like YouTube and Twitter. It's just, I don't know. I enjoy the communication part of it. I love talking with drummers. If you know me, like if you were like, Dan, you have today off, what are you going to do? Man, I'm going to a drum shop and just hanging out and just talking with other drummers, or talking about like cameras or nerdy crap like that. I don't really have any hobbies. I enjoy talking about this stuff. So streaming to now is kind of like, it's still like my recess, but it's fun to practice and share it. And yeah, it's a nice little getaway in all honesty. So Twitch is, it's like my support group in a sense. I don't like people. I say this all the time. I'm not I don't want to hang out with people and I like my dog. I like my family, my couch. I like going in the woods. I like quiet. I'm like Ron Swanson in real life. But I enjoy talking with drummers and music lovers and all that on stream. I do. It's really fun. But yeah, in real life, I'm like, oh God. Unless it's at a drum shop and we're talking about drums, right? So I definitely found my niche and what I enjoy in the streaming world. Hello, Cartoon Mind. Hello, welcome. Laser, that's super nice. I appreciate that. But lessons, Max. I taught at a music school, a private music school, and at a few colleges for 16 years. I've taught probably 2,500 people over that time. I have a lot of great students. I have a lot of great memories from it. At this moment, I don't want to teach, meaning like that weekly lesson of like, hey, show up. All right, let's work on this. Go practice, come back. I'm always down to help people and teach people stuff, but that's one of the reasons I love Twitch too, or streaming, because I can teach, but it's not like, I don't know, when people are paying to get a lesson and they suck or they don't practice. I mean, it sounds mean, but that's like 99% of the people that take lessons or like sign up for the gym. I feel really bad taking their money. I really did, So I enjoy teaching. I love talking about concepts and books and all that stuff, but I'd much rather do that on stream. Like someone asks a question and go back and forth. So that's my like lesson. I still get that fix, I enjoy teaching. I do love it, but I hate the model of like going to a music store or going to a school, taking a half an hour lesson, same time every week. I don't know. I don't take that anymore, really. It gets to me. But if the person's really willing and excited, like if someone comes in and asks a question, like, oh man, I won't shut up about it for, an hour. So that's where I am with teaching. So for right now, yeah, the whole studio thing, recording drums and recording other people, that is kind of like my, I guess, career path for the next probably 10 years. I want to tour again. I say that very lightly. I have the itch to play with other people, but I get asked. I'm very lucky to still be asked to go out on the road and go out with people, but I always just say no. Like my kids are still at an age where they want me around. So being home and being able to go upstairs and hang out, that's still super valuable to me. But as the kids get older and don't care about me anymore, I can see myself, being back out there for sure. So that's why I like working on this stuff now, finding out what I want to play and what I want to sound like is definitely going to determine my performances and like, I guess like the group of musicians that I get back into with when I start playing again. So I have that itch. I'm not going to lie. There's a couple people right now that we've chatted about it, about writing and playing and recording. So we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, I'm still lucky to be able to do this, I love your stories. Yeah, Max, same. There's drumming. When I started, the only way to like make money I thought was to like, or to make a living out of it was to like become a rock star, right? That I'm like, oh, I just have to do that. That's the only way to make it. And the longer I'm doing it, the more I've been around. There's so many different paths that drummers can take, and you really got to just follow your interest, Drew with the 79. Let's go. Thank you. Cartoon. What have you had more of post drumming, ice cream or students? I love ice cream. I'm trying to think. What do you mean? Like, what do I love? Like after drumming? I have ice cream every day, sometimes twice a day. Laser, I really hope your son looks back on this stuff someday. Oh, Laser, yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's not. I don't have a desire to go out right now. I could see if I was like, oh, freaking kids. Da, da, da. No, like I knew even before I had kids, the idea of it. There's not a moment where I'm like, oh, I should be out there on the road. Or I have some friends that all they do is tour and perform, and there's not honestly, there's not a sliver of jealousy or like, oh, I should be doing that. So, yeah, I would say, if anything, they're like, them being around is definitely an encouragement to like work on this stuff, like to show them, that you still got to work, you still got to practice, you still got to put in the time of something you love. So hopefully they still see me working and, practicing and working towards this, or working on this part to do that, or working on the gear, all that stuff. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but yeah, no, I'm not doing it because I don't know, like I feel like I have to be here. It's definitely not that situation, which is interesting to say. I know some people that are in that situation and they see their kids as, I don't want to say a hindrance, but they're like, they're in positions where maybe their spouse or ex-spouse or, they've got custody certain times and they can't tour. I get that. I know. And yeah, they have a hard time with that. So kids are expensive pets. Sorry, how you doing? What's the go-to flavor? Butterscotch. That's the best. Hey, Raina, hi. It's good to see you. What's going on? Yeah, we're talking about drumming and all that stuff. So, yeah, my path has been different, but I've got a taste of all of it. So I know what I like and what I don't like. So touring, studio stuff, jam bands, wedding bands, teaching, teaching classes, teaching individuals, sales in music, I've tried everything. So I know what I like, what works for me, streaming, all that stuff. There's so many different things we can pull from. Most impressive live show I've ever seen. Man, that's hard. That was really hard. Holy crap. Most impressive. I'm going to use that word, impressive. I mean, I saw a Perfect Circle with Josh Freese in San Diego with a broken leg or a broken knee or something. Josh was playing basketball, cracked his knee. Somehow his whole leg was straight, his right leg. And this happened a day before we saw them. And we had crap seats. We were way in the back, way up high. And we're looking, and I'm like, Josh is playing, but he's playing a left-handed kick drum. He's playing right-handed, but he's playing his kick drum, instead of being here, was over here. And I'm like, what's going on? That's super weird. Super weird. This is 2000, probably 6, maybe 5, for 13th Step, whenever that was around, whenever that came out, maybe 4, I don't know. And I'm like, holy crap! What he's playing with something's wrong with his leg. We couldn't see. And so it's a Perfect Circle. They're just killing it. It's amazing. And we're in this arena in San Diego. I think it was at San Diego State University. They have a big big indoor arena, sports thing. So it sounded great. We're loving the show. And then Maynard starts talking, and he's like, yeah, Josh, this idiot, broke his knee or whatever playing basketball yesterday, in the parking lot, and he's playing with his left foot. And if no one said anything, or if you weren't a drummer, you wouldn't have noticed anything was different. The dude his leg was probably super in pain. I mean, he tore it. He couldn't bend it because it was straight. He had it if you break your arm and it's like in a cast like this and you're just like stuck. So his right leg is locked up straight. He's playing drums, his leg's sticking out of where a bass drum should be. And he just moved it. So he has his hi-hat and his bass drum. Everything's like here. He's playing like the hi-hat parts and the kick drum parts with his one foot. And it's like perfect. It's insane. Like, I was just sitting there like, I suck. I'm not good. To just like in a day, some drummers would have to like totally take a month and like, I got to learn how to play this way because this is super different. But just know, like the next day, he's still playing. Just put my bass drum over here. I'll be good. It was wild. It was so cool. I saw Travis too when he broke his hand. He broke his left hand or right hand? I don't even remember. Travis he played a show like this, or played a whole tour with I think it was Plus 44 or Boxcar Race or one of those back in the day. And I just remember being like, dude. Because again, you close your eyes and it just sounded like normal. So I'd say that's probably the most impressive. Seeing drummers like that were just on a whole nother level, Travis is a little out there. Yeah, he's great. Travis is a fantastic drummer. I think he's our generational drummer. Like Ringo, you have like Neil, Lars or whatever, Dave Grohl. I think Travis is like my generation's drummer, 100%. Travis if you go from the perspective of like how Travis has influenced drummers, the phrasing, I disagree. He's mega talented in the way he writes. He might not be like the fastest drummer or the most technical, but his ability to take the marching world of rudiments and sticking patterns and tightness and crispiness. Chad Sexton kind of does that a little bit with 311. He doesn't kind of do it. He does it really well. Like you listen to 311 and you're just like, this is like marching band, but like grooving. Like there's a feel and a touch. Travis is like that, but he made the tastiest, most catchiest licks on the kit and kind of developed and changed, I think, the path of the drummers we have now that we really kind of listen to, or like the more modern drummers, like the metal guys, the progressive guys. Travis influenced like everybody, just like Dave Grohl influenced all the drummers of the 90s and, Neil, all the drummers, whatever. So Travis, he's not like the best drummer out there technically or, maybe skill-wise, but creatively and stylistically, I think he is insanely talented. The way he hears rhythms and pieces them together. Because if you listen to Blink-182, if you listen to like Cheshire Cat and like Dude Ranch, they're great records. What was the old drummer, Scott? They're great. They're punk records. But then you hear Enema of the State, and it's a masterpiece sonically. Like no one heard stuff like that before in that genre of music. Like nobody. No one was playing like that. So that came out of nowhere and just like took basic punk songwriting and power chords and turned them into like rhythmical masterpieces. I'll put it that way. So yeah, I think Travis is insanely talented and he's a fantastic writer, and the way he bridges the marching rudimental world with drum set is very hard to do, and he does it really well. So definitely think of it that way, Laser. It was Plus 44. Yeah. I couldn't even tell you one of their songs, but I remember going to it. and being like, he's playing with one freaking arm. This was before, like, I think probably Twitter and all that, right? Because I didn't know. I show up, I'm like, is he just holding his hand up for fun? Because he used to do that, right? Just like play with one arm up. I was like, hey, he's just got a cast on. This is crazy. So, who was the one-armed Def Leppard? Def Leppard was, I don't remember his name, but yeah, same kind of thing, yeah. Got muses, and you could recognize him so easily in songs. Yeah, such a signature. Yeah, that's what I mean. He kind of does Travis things all the time. And that to me is the mark of an insanely amazing drummer, is when you can hear them without knowing it's them. It's very hard to do. The album is so good. Oh crap, what was one of the songs? A Plus 44 song. I liked Boxcar Racer more than Plus 44. I loved Boxcar Racer. And I couldn't tell you one of their songs either. But Angels and Airwaves I loved. I love Tom's stuff more than Mark's. I'm sorry, Mark. I love you. You're amazing. But Tom is one of those people where you should hate his voice. You should hate his guitar playing. But it's beautiful, right? Everything about it, you should just be like, this is awful. If you took Tom and you were like, hey, this guy's going to be a singer of a band, you'd be like, what? He sounds like super nasal, but they're just so good. He's just a great guitar player. He's so unique, and his voice is so unique, you know? Oh, Mark Hippie, I love it. Seems like he played whole May 2004. Josh, right? Josh Freeze. It was probably 04 when 13 Step had just come out. It was that tour, and I think that's the last one he did with the Perfect Circle. I was just blown away. I think Plus 44 and all that. That was probably like what, 2006, 5, 6. Forever track from Travis changed the game for percussion. That's what I mean. He's not the world's best drummer, but it's like Lars. You might love or hate Lars. He's that same thing. He's brilliant. He just knows how to just write great drum parts that everyone will recognize and latch onto, right? Oh, look at me when your heart starts beating. Yeah, that's right. A couple nights ago, I watched the Drumeo vid where Mike Portnoy learned Danny Carey's drumming. I haven't watched that. I have a hard time watching Drumeo. I'm not gonna lie. How quickly he picked up on it? Yeah. Those guys are just fantastic. I'm excited to see Dream Theater and what Dream Theater sounds like with him back, because they haven't released anything, have they? Damo, good morning. Yeah, I don't know. The Drumeo thing, you guys know how I am about that. They pop up on my like recommended YouTube, whatever, and I can't tell you how many people send me Drumeo videos on social media, like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, no. But they are interesting. My favorite, though, the last one I watched was, someone sent it to me, and I was like, okay, it's Dennis Chambers learning, I don't even know, some song. It might have been a Tool song. And you could tell Dennis was like, I'm getting paid for this, right? Like, my check, you have my check? Let me check my Venmo. Like, you could just tell he was hating every second of it. He was like, this is stupid, but whatever. Watch the Dennis Chambers one and tell me he's not like, oh, let's get this over with. This is so stupid. And the way Travis listens to a record once, then adds a drum track. Yeah, he's just so good. If you remember, Enema of the State came out, and then what was this? The self-titled, the Blink self-titled album. And then you saw Travis playing with a lot of hip hop people. Um, now follow me. Travis was playing like a lot of like Travis-y things, you know. Like I know it's kind of cringe, but he did like some Puff Daddy things, and he did a lot of like hip hop grooves with certain people. The Trap Hat thing, that whole like spicy drums, just put the crime scene, like connect the dots kind of thing. Like Travis was spicing up a lot of things in hip hop in the early 2000s that I think led to a lot of like the feel and the grooves that we have today. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that, but if you listen to hip hop I'll say give Kanye another boost to that, like bringing in a lot of like the jazz energy and certain things, but like that tight, real hi-hat groove, trap hatty thing. Travis was doing a lot of 16th note, 32nd note stuff. Some good stuff back in the day from him that I think influenced a lot of feels from a lot of hip hop producers and all kinds of stuff. Instead of just thinking of hip hop like like the standard kind of thing. Follow Mike is so good. Yeah. I'll watch it for you. Sorry. Transplants. Oh my gosh. Yeah. They were intense. That was a gritty group. I like Transplants. Yeah. They had 2 records, right? Muses? Yeah. They were fantastic. Texas, let's go. Yeah. I'm not practicing at all, huh? I'm getting this is fun. That's what I mean. I like streaming and talking about this music stuff. But if you listen to Travis and like I forgot about Transplants. I'm not gonna lie, they were a great group, trio. If you listen to them and just Google like what Travis has played on, like hip hop wise, it's a lot. He's played on all kinds of things or produced. Maybe like DJ AM and all that stuff when he was adding drums to like DJ stuff. This was like pre-dubstep. You know, a lot of those like not saying like dubstep and all that, but Travis influenced so many like things and all kinds of areas. I think that kind of blew up in hip hop and in electronic music and even progressive drummers. Like you look at like drummers like Luke Holland and of that time, right? Like that were coming up, like that next generation after Travis, that were just playing these like really, really cool continuations of these rudimental ideas that Travis was playing on, but applying them to grooves. You know, so I think he's like crazy talented. That's what I mean. I think he's my generation's like Ringo. And yeah, he's got a lot of clout now because he's a Kardashian. But I think he's pretty monumental in the drumming world for sure. I want to listen to that again, Muses. I want to check that out again. Yeah, Transplants were what 2004, 5-ish, and then they had another record, like 7, 8, somewhere around there. Last name, first name basis. Is he Travis Kardashian? I honestly don't even know. Are they still like together? I mean, Travis was a big influence on me for sure. Like drum setups. If you look at like, I don't know, you know how Neil and like Metallica, the big drum sets of like the 80s. Dave Grohl brought it, the big power toms and all that. But Travis, like the 3-piece kit made that cool again, because every music video from Travis was like a 1 up, 1 down, kick, 2 flat, all the flat cymbals, right? Like that was Travis, 100%. So head off, have a good. Yeah, I should probably get up. I don't even know what time is it. I don't hear the kids stomping around. They were gonna go out and about and do stuff, but I should probably get going. Even though I didn't practice at all. It's been super fun to catch up with you guys. Crucial with the 20, thank you. Oh my gosh, how are you doing? Oh, she's pregnant. I don't even know. Courtney? Did he marry Courtney? Which I'm happy for him. He seems cool. But I honestly kind of got lost when he started doing that. He had his own reality show, remember? I was like, oh boy, I don't know. The whole reality TV thing was weird. Remember Ozzy had his show? I thought it was weird then. And then that's all we had for years. I don't know. Are they still doing the Kardashian show? What do they do now? Like, I don't know. I feel like they just are so rich now. They probably just sit around talk about being rich. I don't know. Hanging in there, homie. I hope you're doing. I'm doing great. It's great to see you, Crucial. Kind of got defensive during the internet area. Turned them off then. Oh, Metallica got defensive. Kind of though, like what we were talking with Laser, like the internet and how the industry lost control over. Imagine if you were selling pizzas and you had a pizza shop and you're like, I'm making the pizzas. People come in and ask for the pizza and I will sell them the pizza and they leave. You control the input and output, right? If it's your business, if it's your pizza, if it's your product, yeah, you're totally like, it's my pizza and this is how I'm making my living and I'm paying for the dishwasher and I got some, people helping out, serving people and I got other, whatever. You get the idea. You can control it. The thing with the music industry, yes, it was super corrupt and super awful in many, 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 many ways and gatekept a lot of just super talented people. But at the same time, it supported, there were some really good aspects of it as well. And meaning like we had some great studios that were able to be around and producers and mix engineers and instrumentalists, right? Like studio cats. There was so many more studio session players back in the day when labels were paying, and they supported so many other industries too, like, touring and, venues, all that stuff. And think of how many jobs they put out there. So the thing that sucks, and I was one of those people too, I was like, yeah, shut up. Like, I enjoyed free music too, right? Back in the day when I had zero money. I didn't do Napster. I was more LimeWire. That was more my jam. I get it. And maybe he went a little too far, Lars, but at the time it seemed like your pizza shop, people were just coming in and just cooking on their own, making their own pizza and leaving, or just picking up boxes and leaving. And it was really frustrating, I think, for a lot of those people who were used to that order. Now it's just, we're used to it, right? Like, and you support people because you know how hard it is, right? You're like, I'll go to see them live. I'll buy a t-shirt or whatever. But back in the day, yeah, it is different. But I totally understand. Back then I was like, shut up, Lars. Shut up, old Lars. He went, yeah, they were not well liked for sure. Demo, yeah, good old LimeWire. Man, I used to download, oh my God. I had dial-up internet at home, and when I went to college and had DSL, I was like, oh my God, I can download like an album an hour or whatever. It was still slow. And then remember you would download an album and then listen to it and it would just be like, and you're like, oh, this one sucks. Those are the worst. They were all like the dithering. You were just like, you're like, oh, delete. I'll download another one. And they would be rated, you know? And that is before YouTube. I remember I downloaded so many videos of like drummers that I loved playing on like Late Night or like Woodstock 99. I remember downloading like Seven Dust and, you know, these rare things that, like, if you wanted to see a drummer back in the day, they had to be booked on a TV show that you liked or an award show or go see them at a venue. And there's no way that I could go to like a concert a weekend to see all these people. Like, that wasn't a thing. So yeah, I got to see like Travis live, and like, instead of just in a 5-second music video cut, you know, it was super cool. So there were aspects of it that were crazy great and just expanded so many other parts of the industry, but at the same time it ruined a lot of things too. I'm not saying it was good or bad, but it definitely changed everything. The whole Napster thing, for sure. So I get like they were mad because they were in control. You know, they knew what was coming in and what was going out, for sure. And now there's no way to tell. You know, it's just crazy the way things are now. One of the downfalls of it is like price of music, of tickets to go see someone live. That's a super big downfall. You know, the streaming services, if you add up all that, you know, some people listen to music a lot and they get it for sure, their share of what they're putting into it. But if you think about what CDs used to cost and how many CDs you bought a month compared to like how much you're paying now a year for a streaming service and how much you're actually listening to it, some people have it and they listen every now and then, or they listen to podcasts, you know. So it's definitely different, for sure. And I want to say like the quality of music, I think, is what has been hit the hardest, right? Because yeah, we're getting a lot of music, but it's like we're getting a lot of Marvel stuff too. You know, there's a lot of superhero movies, and they're fun, but they're not the best, you know? So quality, quantity, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it all. But I'll probably get heading off, right? Texas, again, thank you. And everyone that resubbed, and Laser for the gifts. You guys are the best. Rage Against the Machine stopped all that stuff back then. They got popular and said, take our stuff. Yeah, Radiohead, I remember in Rainbows. Remember? They released their album. They were the first one to say, like, here's our album. If you want to pay us, cool. If not, whatever. And anyone remember that? And I remember being like, I could just take this album, and because I remember like people were getting sued. I know someone personally who got sued from sharing music and lost a lot of money, like 100%. I've actually known someone in real life that was in litigation with all that. So I remember being like, oh man, they can track you down, and like it got scary there, right? And I remember Radiohead's like, yeah, just take it. If you can pay us, they set up a website. You could give them $1 or $100. And I remember being like, I remember I had no money at the time, but I'm like, I'm going to put like $2 or $3 in here. And that to me at the time was a lot of money. This is like, I don't know, 7, 6, right? Poor drummer. And I was like, I like Radiohead, and I want to hear this record. And I think I thought that was very admirable that they, you know, were just trying it. They're like, you know what, people are going to steal it anyway. So people were trying new things just to see what would work. And then Apple tried to do what Spotify has done, you know, but Spotify kind of is the model now for everything, which kind of sucks. For the artists, because Spotify is making a ton of money off of a lot of people. You know, the ratio of what artists get compared to what Spotify gets is super crazy, super insane. a lot, even worse than back in the day with labels and management for compared to artists. So, yeah, pros and cons, I guess. But yeah, I want to go listen to Foo Fighters. I want to listen to Transplants and Radiohead and Rainbows. I still have the original. I have a hard drive from like old computers. Like each computer, when I would like get a new one, I'd have like a hard drive or whatever. And like projects, like I always back up every year with all the recordings I do. I save everything. And I still have my old computer. It has like Half-Life 2 on it with like the episodes. And I think like In Rainbows is on there. Wild. But I love you guys. Thank you for hanging. I'll be here tomorrow. And I'm not going anywhere this weekend. It's like I said, school's starting up soon. So we're pretty chill. But thank you for hanging out. Always a pleasure. I did practice a lot. And I realized we're on like Twitter and all that. And I'm just yapping. Someone's probably like, when's he going to play the drums? Some days you just want to talk, right? Austin, have a good one. Jam, it's a pleasure. Jack White. That's so funny. Muscle messaged me about the new record. I got to listen to that, the new Jack White. I forgot about that. Yeah, and I think Vance recorded it probably. So I got to check out Jack White's new record. It dropped, what, like 2 days ago? Because he's like, you got to listen to it. So I got to check it out. Let me know if you want me to ban people on Twitter too. Dude, I'm streaming on Twitter. I'll be honest. I don't even know how to chat or how any of that works. We're just live. Because I'm like, why not? Why not? I have no idea if it's even working or if, I don't know what's happening. But why not? You know? YOLO, as the cool kids say. Oh man, I can't say that. You'll ban Plinko, not bland Plinko. Muses, cheers. I like that emote. Support Mitch. He's a sweetie. Love you guys.